every Somali boy struggles with the same thing. You know, skinny arms.
I'm asking a question for me, but go ahead.
Skinny arms, skinny calves. You know, we all have the same thing. You know, that's. And I've been trying to grow this for so long, but it's still like there's no movement, man. But
There's gonna be a backlash for that, isn't it?
nah, yeah, like you know, I've always tried to get bigger.
Welcome to HadalTV. My name is Hassan Jama.
And my name is Ahmed Umar.
We are here to engage
And inspire.
to tell our story.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in again to another episode of HadalTV. We have another special guest. Not originally from Manchester, but he's actually gone to do many great things here in this area. Now, before we actually dive into it, I want us to just kind of get to know this individual, a bit of background, you know, where he came from, what his early memories were just growing up as a child. Now, he's known as Moha, but his name is Mohamud. So I'll hand it over to you. Just give us a bit of background about yourself.
Thanks for having me, guys. You know, happy to be here. You know, share my story with the people. So my name is Mohamud Ali, obviously known as Moha. I was born and raised in Holland, the Netherlands, and then moved to Manchester when I was 18. Been here for nearly 8 years. We grew up in a small village. You know, we were not in the big city, so it was nice. You know, it was nice playing outside till late night. You know, no, like parents never had to worry about crime whatsoever. You know what I mean? Like we play out till late nights, play football. Like we had to be called in to come and eat. You know what I mean? Like we were just if we wouldn't get the call, we'd be outside all day. You know, go to the shop, buy a drink, and keep playing. So that's what my childhood was. You know, play football, and you know I used to do good in school as well. So it was one of those like when I was getting older, it became a lot more difficult for me because I was doing really good in school, and I was also doing really good with football, and it was like I was trying to juggle between the two. You know what I mean? It was very important for me because I've always been brought up like you need to have a plan B. You know what I mean? With a lot of the guys that were my age growing up, what I have seen, you know, looking back, they've just focused on football, and a lot of them have not made it. You know what I mean? And then now they're kind of struggling in life. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was doing both, and it got till about I think just before I moved over actually, because I was about 17, and then it was like at the crossroad in my career, pretty much like. I was close to going to university.
In Holland.
Yeah, in Holland at the time. And I was doing really good with football. Like I was made my first team debut for the first team that I was playing for, like at 17 and stuff like that. And then my school results were like a little bit like this. You know what I mean? They were not going so well. So it was scraping through with school. And then, bam! That last year I just about failed the year, so I had to redo a year. You get it? So I had to redo 1 year, and then I was like, wow. You know, I have to redo a whole year. The family wanted to move over to England as well. So around about that time, then I was, you know what, I said to my parents, you know what, I'll go first. You know, I'll go and you guys join me in a few months.
If you don't mind me asking,
yeah.
I've noticed that there's a lot of the Somali community moved from Holland at that kind of years. I think we were talking about 8 years ago, right?
Yeah.
What happened? Like, because I'm always willing to understand, like, never understood the. Like obviously, like we have a lot of friends and a lot of guys that become very close with that moved from Holland.
Yeah.
It seems to be like it happened like over a sudden. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of Somali people moved from Holland at that time.
Yeah, like
what was the main reasons?
Like I remember, like we was actually planning to move to England 2003 times.
Oh, okay.
2003 was planning to move, and that I remember that around about that time there was a lot of Somali people moving to England.
Yeah.
2003 time, my auntie moved over that time, and I remember that time it was just on the news like so many people from Holland were coming to England, and we was actually going to move that time. But that year, me and my older brother, we both got scouted for this team where we ended up playing our youth career, like a very good you know, football club where we spent the majority of our youth.
Is that in Holland?
In Holland, yeah. We both got scouted, and I remember I was crying, you know, on the dining table with Hoy, saying, "Hoy, please, Wakutuga, like, I want to, you know, I'm gonna be a professional footballer, like, please, like, we can't leave." I was crying my eyes out, yeah. And she was like, "You know what, like, we'll stay, we'll stay." So we put it out for like 9 years. You know, we moved to 2012, 2013, so 9-10 years. But that's the time we were actually gonna move. We stayed over, we stayed there. And I'm really glad we did. And then we finally came, obviously, when I came in beginning of 2013, January 2013. So that time, there was also a lot of Somalis coming around about that time. You know, like initially when we was going to come, I remember there was a lot of people moving over. But why did we come? like I've got so much family that living in Manchester. Like a lot of my mum's sisters and brothers, they're actually living within 10, 15 minutes from each other. You know, I've got a few in my side, Fallowfield, alongside Ardwick. You know what I mean? So I already knew Manchester before we came. I used to come here on holidays, so it was, I was looking forward to it. Like I said, I just flopped obviously school, and then I was, let's come here, a fresh start, and then maybe, I can. I wasn't just coming for football, but I was thinking like, you know what, England is the place to be for football. You know what I mean? So I was like, if I come here, start going like college, maybe I can go university here, but then I'll also start playing football here. Because I believed in myself. Like I think there's something there for me. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is when we came 2013. My parents joined me a few months after that, and my siblings, and then I moved in with my auntie first. Here in Moss Side. Then we moved to Wally Range. Was there for a while. But yeah, Manchester, I made it my own. Started playing football in the lower leagues.
How did you find the difference between Holland and Manchester?
Like I said, it was the first time living in the city for me. You know what I mean? Like I was, born and raised in a village, small village with majority Adam people. There was one Somali family which we became very close with that were living literally across the road from us, and there was an Eritrean family living behind us. So we kind of grew up together. But in Tikala, the rest was, was majority Dutch people that were living around us. And like I said, there was barely any crime. There was like a posh area. You know what I mean? It was like I said, growing up it was nice. I have a lot of good memories. And coming to Manchester was like, whoa, like now you're living in the city. You know what I mean? More massages around me, which I've never experienced. You know what I mean? The closest massages back in the days, we had to, like my parents weren't driving at the time. We had to go on a bike for 25 minutes to get to the closest masajid. You know what I mean? And here you walk to your left or to your right, and there's places there. You know what I mean? A lot more community. The feeling of a community was here. Like there's so many Somalis around which I've never seen growing up. You know what I mean? It was I really enjoy it, and even till now, I enjoy it. And that was new to me. And I got used to it, and I kind of made it my own now.
Now, what was like your highlight moving into Manchester initially? What did you really love the most about, having that culture, that community around you?
Yeah, like when I came, I was 18, and I wasn't really working, so I was just getting used to being around here. Seeing so many Somalis around me. I used to go every Friday in Sports D. Used to play football there with with the Somalis community, and it was nice. And I never used to do that back in Holland. You know what I mean? So that was like a little introduction, getting to know more people slowly, and then when you play football, that's like socializing for me. I've made so many friendships with football. You know what I mean? Like most of my friendships have come from playing football. Be it like friendly game or competitive games. You know what I mean? Your teammates, that kind of stuff. So from there on, you still start to get to know more people in the community, and then.
What challenges did you had to overcome, like moving from Holland into Manchester?
It was not difficult, I don't think. Like I'm not gonna say I was a grown man, but I was 18 years old. You know what I mean? Like for my younger siblings, I think it's more difficult. You know what I mean? Because like I said, growing up for me and now looking at my younger siblings, like I'm really grateful for what I've experienced than what they're experiencing. Because growing up right now,
why is that?
growing up right now, especially like, not just in Manchester, but like in the UK, but even looking in Holland right now, like things are changing. You know what I mean? And obviously now I appreciate a lot more that I was in the village growing up. You know what I mean? I can see that the things that my siblings and my younger family cousins and that what they're struggling with, like in schools, and like not just what they're teaching in schools, but the crime and that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like I've never had to experience anything like that. You know what I mean?
Do you think they're more exposed to?
Yeah.
What it brings more?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to?
Yeah, you're a lot more exposed to crime and different kind of challenges. Whereas for me, like looking back, I feel like I've not experienced anything like this. For me, it was just
quite simple life.
Basha, like like enjoy. You know what I mean? That's how I look back. Like it was no worries. You know what I mean? Like I say, play football out till late, and that was like you leave your bike outside, no locking, nothing happens. You know what I mean? Like it was normal. And that's like for me. I was 18 when I come over. It was I was an adult. I was a bit. I could tell the difference that someone that grew up in Holland And the guys that was my age that grew up here, I could tell the difference, Hoga, you know what I mean? Like my mentality and the way I was looking at things and the way they were looking at things, it was different, you know what I mean?
I
And
remember when I first met you, like when you first started to come to Manchester, I was convinced you was older than me.
yeah.
I was like, mashallah, this guy is so, you know, mature, you know, the way he's carried himself, and it shows, you know, where you are right now. In terms of the football that you played in Holland, you know, you got to a stage where you were scouted by a big club, by a big club in Holland, and now having to come here, did it feel like you were starting all over again, or?
Yeah,
and where did you start?
That was so difficult because, like, I'm used to playing football on a very good competitive level. So then when I came here, obviously, I didn't know anyone, and that's not just with football. Like in life, if you don't have a network, if you don't know people that, you know, can help you become better, or you know, get to a better job or get a better football team, it was difficult, you know. And you know, there's so many guys that have the ability, but not with the support around them or the network, you know what I mean? And I was at that stage, I was like, okay, where do I start? You know what I mean? You know, the first 6 months I was just, you know, playing five-a-sides, this kind of. But I was like, we don't play that much five-a-sides in Holland. We just play 11-a-sides. That's the proper football. You know what I mean? Like, so I enjoy playing five-a-sides, but like I was like, I need to play for an 11-a-side team. Like I need to, you know. And then a few months after I came, my older brother came, and then obviously he started to look for a team. We both started to look for a team. I was training with FC United at the time, their reserves, and they were they were really keen to sign me on at the time. And then my brother came not long after that, before I decided to sign with them, and then we both signed for the same team, Northwich Victoria at the time. We both signed with them, and then we started training with them, and then they initially made us play with their reserve team called Northwich Vixen Villa. And then me and my older brother, and then a few other guys from the community, like Ozzy and Ali and some other, you know, guys, we all started to play with them. Like we brought a lot of the boys from the community, so we had like 7, 8 boys from the community on a match day playing there together. You know what I mean?
All in the same team.
Yeah, all the same team. You know, it was good. You know, my first taste of playing football here, and then you can then straight away tell the difference of the style of play here and the challenges. Like I've been a centre back all my career, yeah. But especially then, I've gotten a little bit big. I'm still skinny, yeah, but at the time I was skinny. I was 18, I was skinny, and I was used to playing
technical football.
More technical, not to the physical side of the game. And now I'm playing here in England in the 10th division at the time, Division 10. And I'm playing against old guys with the belly and throwing elbows around, and I was not used to this, you know, like I'm getting my lip bust open on a Saturday, and then one time I've got a lump here. I'm like, I'm not enjoying this type of football. Honestly, I was like, I'm not going.
I love that stuff.
Like I'm not waiting, you know, for the next Saturday to come for me to get elbowed again. You know what I mean? And then the next, like, on the ball I was okay, but then when the goal kick, like their goalkeeper has a goal kick, and I'm like looking at the ball, and
it's coming to you.
I'm like, what's happening around me? Boom! So I was like, oh, that was like a reality shock. Like, okay, I'm in this country now. You know, I say I'm good enough. Like, I need to back you up. You know what I mean? Like, you can talk, say, oh, you know. Then that's when the hard work started. Like, I was like, oh, cool. I need to, you know, stay positive, keep trying, keep playing. And then I learned a lot playing on that level, because even though I believe my ability was far greater than playing in that league at the time, I had to get used to this side of the game as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not just, football is not just about when you have the ball. You know, it's a team sport. You need to have like all different kind of attributes. So that time there made me like
tougher.
Made me kind of like be able to defend myself against that kind of opponents. You know what I mean? And then with my other side of the game now, you know, adding both of them together, you know, that's where I am right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've learned that side of the game, and I've developed obviously in every single aspect, obviously, and it was good, you know, to start in the lower league, to learn that side of the game. I think, because if you look at some of the, you know, the football players that are playing in the Premier League, that have come from the non-league, for example, I think these kind of football players, they are a lot more bulletproof than when they're playing against like lower league players, leagues. You know, like FA Cup, them kind of games. That's where they've come from, so it's easier for them. Where you see, when the bigger players, they're not really used to that. They're not really used to the smaller profile players that graft, that put the work in. You know what I mean?
To be honest with you, like I understand exactly what you're saying, because we've been through that. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, you know, obviously, like you didn't get used to playing five-a-sides, but when we used to play five-a-side, it's just enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like, we're just like kicking about with your mates. It's more technical, megging each other and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but when it comes to like a Sunday or Saturday leagues, you're ready for a battle.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's not.
You're going for a while sometimes.
Yeah, it's not enjoyable. Like we got used to that, and like you're saying, like if you're going through that kind of levels of leagues, because I think the higher you go in the divisions, the more technical they get.
Yeah.
But the lower you are, it's more basically it's rough.
Yeah, rough,
It's
physical.
basically physical, and like you got the coaches to shout in. I remember me and Gure, we used to play for Oldham Town.
Oh yeah.
And we took parts like the FA Cup matches, so, like the early stages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And basically, it was brutal. Like I remember, like if I would take someone on or like I do a little bit of skill. Oh my god, the coach is on the side, like
take him out.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing? Like I'm thinking, I just took him on, like you know what I mean, and I just walked easily, just went past him and. But nah, none of that, mate. It's like you pass, you run, you head out.
That's it. Head kick.
Seriously.
Especially my position, centre back, head it, kick it. That's all they want, especially lower leagues. And I was like, I'm not enjoying this, That's not my type of game. But like I say, after that, some coaches they seen in me, what I always believed in myself, and then I start making progress. You know what I mean? And it's still a work in progress. Where I am right now. But you have to have that self belief first and foremost. That's I think if you don't believe in yourself. Who is going to believe in you?
Yeah. I mean,
who's going to believe in you? Like you need to. Like I'm myself biggest fan. I'm not cocky at all, not arrogant, but I think it's important to back yourself. And then people they will see things in you that you always believed in. You know what I mean? And then it's up to you to prove it and to be consistent. You know what I mean?
Where did you go from that team? How long did you play for that team?
Yeah, so I signed for Norwich Victoria. They play in the 8th division at the time. But like me and my brother, we started playing with their reserve team, which was in the 10th division. We played there for we joined like mid-season, so we finished the season there, and then that summer, both the teams, their reserve team and the first team, were doing pre-season together.
Okay. And
I remember me and all the we were all going, it was pre-season. Both teams are training together. If someone gets the opportunity, we all went. Remember, we're training in Timperley, Altrincham, around there. On a big field, and we're fasting. Well, it's Ramadan time, and we're doing pre-season running, and running. We was doing so many runs. I remember, yeah.
Was that your first pre-season?
That was my first pre-season here in England.
How did you find it?
Well, I was, like I said, that time I was running, like I was fasting, no problem. Like literally, I remember a guy called Sadiq al-Faturi. He was one of the fittest guys I've ever met. He was first. He was fasting as well, so he was like. First, like out of a bunch of like 40 players, something. He was like well ahead of everyone, and I was third. I remember, like considering me and him were fasting. The guy that was second, I don't know why he wasn't fasting, but like we were literally overtaking guys like 1 lap, 2 laps. We were overtaking other people that were not fit. You know what I mean? That just shows that our stamina was on a good standards. You know what I mean? And we were overtaking people that was like literally blowing. You know what I mean? And that was my first pre-season. And then that catches the manager's eye. You know what I mean? The manager from the first team started to talk with me and Sadiq, both of us, you guys look in good shape, and then he allowed us to train with the first team. We played pre-season games with the first team, and then I got signed for the actual team in the 8th division. So I made that step up to the 8th division, from 10 to the 8th division, and then I was 2 seasons with that team. My first season I played the most games out of all the players. I'm a versatile defender, I can do a job for the team, left back, right back, anywhere, defender, I'm there, you know what I mean? So I was the one with the most appearances that time. Played more than 50 games in that season. Second season with that team, we had a really strong team. We were on a good run, unbeaten, for the first how many games. Then I got called up for Somalia my first time back in 2015.
Wow.
So then I went to play for the national team. Great experience. I was 21 at the time. Didn't play the first game. I played in the second game, full game. We lost 4-0, but it was a great experience to be there. I thought I did well personally, but the team sport obviously we got beat 4-0. So
was that the World Cup qualification?
World Cup qualification against Somalia against Niger at their place. So the home game was in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. I was on the bench that game, full 90 minutes, and the second game.
That's the game the Somali won, isn't it?
No. We won in 2019. So last year.
Oh, that was the year before.
Yeah. So that time we lost the home game 2-0. The away game we lost 4-0. That's the one I played. That was 2015. So when I came back of international duty, actually we had a strong team. So I was kind of struggling to get back into the team, which is normal. If you go away for 3-4 weeks,
Oh yeah, you lose.
you can't come back and expect to play straight away. You know what I mean? And if the other players are doing a job, I had to just sit on the bench and wait for my next opportunity. Then obviously, then I started to play a little bit. Then the manager left, a new manager come in. The manager got a better job. He left. A new manager come in, and then new manager, new philosophy.
It's always the case.
And that manager never gave me the opportunity to play. I never played for him. I think I might have come on a few times, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to sit on the bench. If I'm not going to play, I went back to the 10th division team because there's only 2 months left at the end of the season. I went back to the 10th division. I was playing every game. At least I'm enjoying it. I'm not going to go to a team where I was not even in the first 16. I'm not on the bench. Then I want to play. The best way for you to develop as a football player is to play.
Definitely.
You have to play. So I was like, it's only 2 months left. Let me just play. And then next summer I'll find a new team. There was teams that wanted to sign me in the summer. They called me, and then I ended up signing for another team called Glossop North End. Signed for them in the same league as the team that I just left. Was there for 6 months. Then signed for another local team, not far, like around Tameside, called Mosley. Played for them about 12 months. Had a little stint at Droylsden Football Club, and then that was about, I think, altogether I played in that 8th division, I think 3 or 4 seasons. 3 or 4, 4 seasons. Okay. Yeah, 3 or 4 seasons I played in that league, and I was like, I need to get out of this league because I know, honestly, I know I can play higher, but I was kind of stuck, you know what I mean? And there's, like I say, you can talk with your mouth, I know I'm good enough, but you need to back it up, you know what I mean? And then I was not enjoying it in that league, to be honest. I've been there for so long, I'm like, you're playing against the same faces, teams that, like, players that move in different...
the same teams, one going up, one going down.
Yeah, some players, they leave a team, but they're all staying in the same league. So, like, you see guys like, this guy, I've seen him 3 years ago, we're still playing, like, I'm like, I want to go forward, you know what I mean? Like, and then it was difficult, no one is really approaching me. I'm like, I'm playing okay, and sometimes maybe I don't know, maybe my performances could have been better, But at the end of the day, when a manager wants to sign you, he needs to be confident you are better than what he has.
Yeah.
If you are the same as what he has, why is he going to bring a new face in? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I remember the last season before I made the jump to the 6th division, when I was at Mosley. I was at Mosley now, 8th division. We played pre-season against a team in the 6th division called Curzon Ashton. That's the team I ended up signing for. Played pre-season friendly against them, and everyone knows when you play in pre-season, you play against teams that are higher than you and teams lower than you. And then when you play against teams higher than you, the whole team's up for it. Yeah. Everyone wants to get a move, you know what I mean? So that day, I remember I had a good game, like I had their forwards on, I had them on lock. I was defending really well, physically strong. So I left a good account of myself, but no phone call, nothing happened. So I'm like, no problem. We keep working. Then I remember this is a funny story. Like on one Saturday, my game was called off. Yeah, my game was called off, and then sometime when my game is off, I used to go to Stockport County. They've got a big stadium. Yeah. I used to go watch their game. I had some old teammates playing there. My old manager's the manager there, so they used to sometimes give me tickets to come and watch them play. So this particular Saturday, I went there with my little brother. Went there to watch the game, and then I seen the manager of Curzon Ashton, the 6th division manager. I seen him in the stands. So then I was like to myself, Mahmoud,
you need to speak to him.
Shoot your shot. You have got nothing to lose. Go to him, shoot your shot. And then I was like, no, I'm too nervous, I'm too shy. Like I can't do this. I was like, to my little brother, I was like, I know that manager, I really want to speak to him. He goes to me, what are you doing? He goes, go. I was like,
and how was the little brother?
I'm 10 years older than him, so he, at the time, he must have been like 12, and I was like 22, something like that.
And he's telling you to?
Yeah, he's like, bro,
go do
you got this. He goes, you got this, go. I went up to him, I said, my name is Mahmoud, can I introduce myself? He goes, oh yeah. And obviously I've played against him over the years, like I've played against his team a few times, so he goes, oh yeah, I remember you, I always thought you was a good defender. I'm thinking to myself, okay, you always know I was a good defender. Why did you never approach me? Like I'm waiting to get, but anyway. And then he said to me like, you know what, I'll think about it. But he goes, worst case, in pre-season, you can come join my team. I'll give you a fair chance to come with pre-season and have a good look at you. So he never approached me during the season. Season was finished, he messaged me, said, are you still looking to come down? I was like, yes, I'm coming down, I'm coming. Make sure I'm in good shape, I was training hard, This is my opportunity pretty much, to, it's like put on a plate for me, you know what I mean? I was like, I've got to grab it. I went there in pre-season and, from strength to strength, I went there, showed good attitude, like I normally do anyway, not just to get in the door, And I had a strong pre-season. I got signed on, started the season on the bench like you normally would do. Someone was injured, I come in, man of the match performance, and then since there, I became one of the key players in the team. One of the key players, key defenders, and I spent a good 2 seasons there. So I spent a good 2 seasons in that league. Got used to the league, and I was like to myself, I could have been in this league sooner.
Yeah.
But it wasn't meant to be, And I can dwell on and look back like, if I was 21 and playing in this league, I would have been here now. Okay, I'm here now, no problem. Work and let's see what happens. 2 years in this league. This is my 3rd season in the same league now. I've moved teams of it this summer. Now people are aware of me. They know who I am. That's that's what I wanted. You know what I mean?
So which team are you playing for right now?
So right now, I signed for a team called Southport Football Club.
Yep.
It's like an hour drive from here, from Manchester.
So you commute for training. Matches.
Yeah. So we just, there's a few players from Manchester, so we car share. So we share the drive up there. Which is decent. You're not doing it by yourself. And for me, I'm on a journey. And it seems like I'm going up in the right direction.
Sure.
And I'm excited. Because I know this is not my ceiling. I know I can go higher than this, and it's just, sometimes I just look back like, what have I done to deserve this? Like so many things. It's just, I feel very privileged. And I'm very thankful and grateful for that. Alhamdulillah, for everything that I've been blessed with. My family. I've got a son, beautiful son. I've got so many things. I think like,
what's his name?
Suleiman. I'm like, alhamdulillah for everything, and there's inshallah a lot more to come. That's inshallah a lot more to come. I play for this team now. The season only just started because of COVID. We started a bit later than usual. The manager really likes me, which is always a bonus. I was really careful to decide where my next move was going to be. There was a few teams interested in me in the summer, but this manager really I spoke with him. He told me his plans for me and for the team, and he knew a lot about me before. When he rang me, he knew so much about me already. And he was adamant that he wanted me to join his team, you know what I mean? And that makes me more at ease, you're going somewhere where you're wanted.
Yeah, I think that's always a good sign.
Where he knows what he expects from you and everything, you know what I mean? So I'm really enjoying it so far, even though the drive is long, but I'm really enjoying it. And, we got a big game tomorrow, and we got so many big games coming up. And, I want to continue to put good performances in individually as a team, and hopefully take this club to the next level.
I'm sure you must be doing something else outside of football as well. What else do you do other than just football here in Manchester?
Yeah, obviously, 4 years ago, or just over 4 years ago, I think 5 years ago, that's when I started. I got introduced to becoming a driving instructor. Wow. And who thought I would ever become a driving instructor? I never ever thought I would be. But life sometimes catches you out with surprises, you know what I mean? And again, alhamdulillah, the job got introduced to me, and I received really good training. A friend of mine, and then within 12 months, I was fully qualified instructor. From the day I was approached, within 12 months, I was a fully qualified instructor, and I started working as an instructor. I haven't left Holland, just about flopped education, and I come here and I tried to go to college, and then I just gave up, and I was like, let me just work and football, let me just try this. And then this job came on my path, and I never looked back since. I've got 4 years of fully qualified experience as an instructor. 2 years I was working for a company, and then for over 2 years, nearly 3 years, I run my own driving school with a friend of mine. We decided to set up our own driving school. to serve our community. It's something that's very much needed. There's always a demand for driving, and it was a good move. We set our own driving school, and to maximize obviously our income so that we can support our own families instead of working for a company, and like I said, also serve the community. Like we've got so many people that we're helping to gain their license from different religion, background, countries, That's so diverse community that we've got. Not just the Somali community, there's such a diverse community. Too many to name, but we and I think we're doing a good job. So many happy customers. People that make dua for you when they pass their test. It's like I said, it's so much rewarding. And like looking at my life right now, it's so busy. Like I've barely got much time for myself, but it's.
I was going to ask you that. I think, how are you balancing? Like, how many days do you train a week?
So with my football team, we train twice a week and play football on the Saturday. So
it's
3 days with football
together. Yeah.
But that's nowhere near enough if you want to become a professional. So the amount of training that I'm doing outside of that is even more than what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So I'm training so hard to fulfill my dream. Then I'm running a driving school. Working as a driving instructor. I'm a dad. And not just a dad. I'm an older brother to my siblings. I'm a son. There's so many things. And I wake up early morning every day with full of energy. And it just like once you wake up early with things to look forward to, it makes it easy. And sometimes I'm thinking to myself, like, how are you doing this? How are you coping with all of this? But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. And like it's still a work in progress. So you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going.
It definitely helps, obviously, if you're doing something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Obviously, it helps. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, 100%. Like, obviously, if you look back, like I said, started in the 10th division, went to the 8th, went to the 6th, and obviously, you get paid to play football. So you don't get paid as much. Obviously, the lower you play, the higher you play. Obviously, so I'm getting paid more than what I was getting paid before. So obviously, which takes a bit of pressure away from me because I don't have to work as much as an instructor. Whereas before, like I'll be working because like I said, right now I'm trying to focus more on football. So I'm in the gym a lot more than I used to be, which I need to. So back in the days, I wasn't getting paid much on football, especially then. So it's like I've got bills to pay, I've got family to support, and I'm not getting paid much on football. So if I'm gonna try to go to the gym so much and train football so much, when am I gonna be working? That was difficult. So I was working crazy shifts. I was working like long hours, and then trying to go to the gym for a quick hour, and then that was more horrible. Like now it's a bit more relaxed because I can work a bit less and still provide enough, and then also like go gym, which I enjoy doing. Train a little bit on the side, and spend some time with my kid. That kind of stuff.
That's good.
So with gym and stuff, like at the moment, obviously you're trying to level up to the next to the next stage. What is it you're actually working on? What is it you think you need that maybe not lacking, but maybe to improve on, take it to that next stage?
I think that
tough question.
I don't think that's a tough question. You know why? Because every Somali boy struggles with the same thing. Skinny arms.
I'm asking a question for me, but go on.
Skinny arms, skinny calves. We all have the same thing. That's. I've been trying to grow this for so long, but it's still like there's no movement, man. But
this gonna be a backlash for that, isn't it?
I've always tried to get bigger, but I think I found the formula. Like in lockdown, I've tried to use, my time wisely. Did some nutrition courses and stuff like that, and I can tell the difference already. My nutrition has gone a lot better. And before that, that time when I was 18, 19, 20, me and my friends we used to play so much football. Like we used to play football in the afternoon, come back, go to the gym for 2 hours, and then at night play football again. This one day, play football, gym, football.
Try getting that out of me right now.
And I was not getting bigger though. I was in the gym for 2 hours.
Wow.
And then now, like with the nutrition course and like the knowledge I've built up like recently, I'm thinking like, okay, back in the days, people used to tell me, nutrition is like 80% of your gains, 20% if you working out, going to the gym. And I was like, this can never be true.
I just
Everyone's going gym.
That's something that we don't understand.
Yeah.
Quite a lot, and I think it's one thing that they never. I think even in school, they don't teach about the right diets. And
No.
what to eat and stuff like that. And I think that's the mystery, isn't it? Like where
they don't teach a lot of stuff.
And we have our own food as well, which is not really made for this
exactly
climate that we live in at the moment in time.
Exactly. Because, like I said, nutrition is very important if you want to live a professional lifestyle, professional athlete, And like I said, I used to spend a lot more time in the gym back then than what I'm doing now. But now I'm actually getting bigger and stronger because, like I say, I'm a lot more strict with my nutrition. Take some, protein supplements. I was never consistent with it, but once you have a goal and your goal is crystal clear, it becomes a lot easier to become more disciplined, and more strict with it. And living at home sometimes it's not easy. It's challenging. Somali households, we all know the diet that is there.
Bris and Basto going in, bro.
Bris, Basto, like dorsho. My mom loves bacon, so it's like sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I can't withstand it. But at the end of the day, as long as you got to look at your calories, what you're taking in, what you're burning. You are allowed to eat some unhealthy stuff, but you got to balance it. That's why people go wrong when they have a cheat day. They go all out, and that's when you won't get that physique that that you obviously
you say guilty.
Trying to get.
I was me earlier today. I'll show you the picture. I might put it there somewhere.
Yeah, but like I'm trying to get a little bit bigger. I don't want to be massive. I still want to be agile and quick. A little bit bigger quads, bigger arms to look intimidating.
I think as a defender, I mean, it does have its own challenges, isn't it? Like I was a striker when I was a bit younger, and when I was playing, and I didn't have to think about that. All I think about was like just go faster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was trying to work on my speed and stuff like that. But I can understand as a defender, you want to look intimidating. And
the thing with me is like the people that know me, that know the way I play, they know I'm a strong defender. But I don't look it. That's the thing. Like,
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I used to play with Gure, right?
Yeah.
And for somebody who's at that time, he was very, very skinny as well. I think we all were anyway. But and he was a left back, and for somebody who's so skinny, he was still one of the most aggressive players I've ever seen.
Yeah, but
seriously, he's so, and it kind of surprises people. Like when we used to go and play against these teams, like we were playing in Oldham and stuff like that, and they come across us, they think, oh, he's a left back, skinny guy, and sooner or later you just see them crossing to the other side because he is so rough. Like, and I know what he's like, but like they just kind of they always get surprised by how intimidating it is, like to play against someone so skinny and like he's not a big guy, but he used to get stuck in.
Exactly, because I think a lot of it comes from your like mentally and mentality. Because
if you can like start keeping up with certain people, you can.
Because like I say, like especially growing up, but even now I'm not the biggest, and that's what I want to work on because I know my performances have been good, have been steady, I'm physical. I'm coming up against big strikers that are bigger than me. And I am physically bullying them, okay? But what I want to achieve eventually is when scouts are coming to watch, that they see that Mohamud is a little bit bigger. Because right now what they're seeing is a skinny Somali boy that's playing there, and he's playing good, but they're thinking, oh, he's not strong enough. He's not big enough. That's what they're seeing. Yeah. It's like a visual representation of yourself. I mean, like I want to be in a good shape when they see me playing well and they see me that I'm physically ready as well. I think, okay, this guy is ready to make the move. Let's take him to the 4th division. Or let's take him. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm trying to work on. It's like when you're trying to market the product, you want it to be in the best shape. That's what I'm trying to work on right now. I'm trying to market myself, to make that next move. With our diet and our traditional food. Back in my Hoya knows right now, like the way I'm eating.
I think you should just leave it there before you upset your mom.
no, Hoya knows, but like it's like when you go to the aunties' houses.
Yeah, listen, like
they'll feel offended. Like, why you not eat? Like, I get a plate with all due respect. The plate is full of berries. It's too many carbs.
Trust me, I have
too many carbs. Like I can't eat. I don't eat that much berries. And then you finish, they get cup showered a lot of sugar and doors, and like, okay, I'm not. هاي يركي معنا وحنا حقا دايت وجري. No.
To be honest with you, it took me years to obviously. I know you knew me for like so many years,
some time.
and you know what I mean. I did put a lot of weight on at some point. But, it's just the food. Even though like we play like twice a week, we go gym, but the thing is, I'd always like struggling to just take some weight off.
Yeah.
And it was never about like the activities that we were doing. It's just more about diet. And now I'm doing the same thing as you now, where I can go to my family house. I'll be like, oh, you eat this, or I'm like, nah, I've you know, certain things today I'm not eating anymore. And they just look at you like, what are you talking about?
No, the thing
Even if you're not for training anything, it's very, very important to kind of balance what you eat. And obviously, you're trying to achieve a goal, which is even more important.
One thing you mentioned earlier, that you got a call to play for Somalia, the national team.
Yes.
Now, obviously, that's a big deal. You said you went twice. You went initially in 2015.
15. Yeah.
How did that come about?
2015, I was lucky. You know why? I was playing in the 8th division at the time. You know, a very unknown team. I was lucky. Why was I lucky? Because my brother had already played for them. You know, so people might be thinking like, oh, it's a family thing, this, that. My brother had already played for them. You know, made his debut in 2012. So the World Cup qualifying games were coming up in 2015, and I was like to him, like, yo, bro, like, you know, I want to go with you. I want to go. I want to, and I can play. I want to go and play. I'm 21 now. I want to play for the national team. Like everyone wants to, who does not want to play represent the national team. So I was like, you know, let me just put it out there. I want to go and let's see what happens. So I told him I want to go. So he's like, okay. So obviously the federation was already aware about him. You know, he got the invite to come down. And he was like, okay, I've got a younger brother that's 21, and he's playing football. You know, he's played here and there, and right now we moved to England. He's just starting out in England. This is the team he's playing for. So they were open. You know, they didn't say yes. They said, okay, we want to see footage of him playing. So obviously, I'd already played one season in England. I'd already played one season in England, so I had some footages from the games that I'd played. So I was quickly, like, you know, trying to
got together whatever you had.
Got an old laptop together, you know, editing software. Like, you know, I just tried it and made like a quick, you know, clip. You know, just some footages, like, you know, made like a quick, you know, few minute clip, and we sent it over to them, and they deemed me good enough, you know. So it's not like they just went off my brother's word. Like, they looked at the videos and they said, okay, we can use this defender, you know. So then, okay, I got the call up, and I was buzzing, you know. I was like, whoa, this is big, you know. I was nervous, you know. Like, you know, the first game I was not playing, but the second I was nervous.
So how did you find the environment when you went there?
Amazing, you know. Like, most of the players were from back home.
Okay.
There was only 4 players from Diwida. So me, my older brother Ahmed, and Abu Bakr Shego, Manchester lad. He went, and then there was one goalkeeper from Holland.
And then you went again in 2019.
Yeah.
And that's the one that I heard. I think that's the one that everyone heard about because some sort of a record was broken. Just talk us through that.
Yeah, so obviously, having already experienced playing for the first, you know, national team, I got the call up again for the second time. This time, it only made sense. Why? Because the first time, like I say, I was playing the 8th division. You know, I was lucky to get the call up. But now, obviously, in those 4 years gap, you know, I've become a lot better player. My profile's improved. You know, I play for a better team, better league. So it made sense for me to get the call up. I got the call up again, and obviously I was not as nervous as the rest of the players. I'd already experienced it before.
Yeah.
You know, so we got the call up. You know, and this time there was a lot of players from the diaspora, Italy, America, Finland, Holland. And we had good players there. You know, good players that have experience playing professional football in different countries, which helped obviously the national team. And then, if you look at the FIFA ranking, Somalia is down there, like one of the lowest.
Yeah.
And then obviously the draw got made for the World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah.
And then there was 28 teams that had to play the preliminary round. Okay. So like the 28 smallest teams in Africa on the ranking, you know, based on the ranking. And Somalia was the lowest ranked. And out of the 28 teams, we had to play the highest ranked team out of those 28. Oh, wow. So we had the toughest job. But, you know, this is the first time that Somalia has managed to bring in good players from, you know, professional leagues. Yeah. So, although the FIFA ranking states that we are one of the lowest ranked teams, the lowest ranked team in Africa, we were the underdogs. We know how football works. We all played many years, you know, and we know you will get underestimated, you know. So, me personally speaking, I fancied our chances, and a lot of the other players did, you know. Like, play your game, play our game, and see what happens. We have got nothing to lose. No one is expecting anything from Somalia right now.
Yeah.
Everyone expected us to get beat. We went out there and we had, the best. Personally, I'm not gonna say it was my personal best performance, but we had a very great team performance and we made history on that night. In Djibouti, we played our home game in Djibouti. They welcomed us. It was like our home, and the supporters were cheering for us. It was amazing. It was amazing. And then we played against Zimbabwe. We beat them 1-0 at home. They haven't scored against the Somali defense. We had an amazing goalkeeper. We had an amazing whole squad. All the players that they played some form. It's not just the players on the pitch, the players on the bench. Everyone, the staff, everyone was involved.
Your brother was the captain.
My older brother was the captain. It was one of my cousins was also playing in the midfield. It was the best experience that I've had on a football pitch, and I can't wait to club football is nice, but I cannot wait to represent my country again. These are not even the best players that Somalia has to offer. There's a lot of Somali players that are scared to play for the national team. Why are they scared to play? Because they think that they can play for a European country. Does that make sense? So if you're a young lad, 18, 19, 20, 21 maybe, whatever, if you play for the Somali national team, you will not be able to play for Holland or Sweden or Norway or whatever. So they are thinking, I'd rather wait a few years. I might have an opportunity to play for a European country instead, which is their, that's their choice,
Yeah.
and they've got every right to do so. But like I say, once those players get involved, there's going to be competition for places, and Somalia will only be going one way. That's going to be forward, because like I say, the FIFA ranking, is not a true reflection of the ability that we have got as players, as a whole nation. Somalis love football.
Do you think if you're playing a home game in Somalia, whether it's in Mogadishu or anywhere, do you think that will have that different energy type to it? Because that's the real honest question I was trying to ask us before, because I playing in Ethiopia and playing in Djibouti. I'm guessing there was way more support and more, do you know what I mean, more people supporting, or is it because obviously it's like if you're playing in Somalia, it will have a different buzz to it.
Yeah, the thing is, obviously in Ethiopia there were not meant too many fans. There were 1 or 2 million. In Djibouti there was a few thousand there. So when we played away from home in Niger, when we played away in Zimbabwe, there was barely any Somali fans. Handful. You play away from home, and you don't want your home tie to be like that. You don't want your home tie to be empty stadium where there's no one to cheer you on. So those fans that turned up, we was happy with that. But playing in Somalia, honestly, that's gonna
the dream.
Honestly, that's the dream. That's the dream, literally, and that dream is soon to become reality, inshallah. We're literally just waiting for the call up. So the stadium has been prepared. It's been certified by the FIFA recently. It's a 60,000 capacity stadium. Just talking about a 60,000 capacity stadium, bigger than the Emirates. This is the capacity wise, So it's
Oh wow.
And like I said, the way Somalis love football, the way they will cheer you on.
Very soon.
Yeah.
It's that's the next thing that we all can't wait for. And
I think Arsenal fans are very touchy people, so you need to be careful.
Who do you support actually?
Don't tell me to Arsenal fan.
I am an Arsenal fan.
There we go.
Yes,
Let's cut this.
Definitely we're not getting this.
No.
I've seen a documentary that you were involved in. They were actually looking at you playing international football and the team that you're in at the moment in time.
Yeah.
Was that on Channel 4?
RMC. It was the French Sky Sports.
Right.
Yeah.
How did that came about?
Yeah, literally, me, the type of person that I am, I love the game of football. And I'm in the game because I love the game. I'm not in the game to become famous or whatsoever, and since that game, my social media presence has, I don't know what's happened to it, it's gone up significantly. And I was getting so many calls from the BBC, I've been on Sky Sports, The Guardian, the RMC. I got in touch with the driving school. One of my friends, they got in touch with him and said, trying to speak to this footballer, and then they passed my number on and they got in touch, and he messaged me on WhatsApp saying I'm a reporter for the RMC, I want to make a documentary about you. I was like, what's interesting about that? What's interesting? I was like, oh, okay, let's do it. I've seen you a driving instructor. You made headlines. I was man of the match in that game. I want to make a personal documentary about you. I was like, okay, let's do it. You know, he came over on a booked flight from Paris to Manchester, stayed in a hotel for 3 nights, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So on the Thursday, he came to watch me train, did some recording there. On the Friday, he went to follow me some driving lessons, and on the Saturday, he went to watch my game. We played against top of the league that day and we beat him. So it was a nice, really nice documentary. And yeah, and that documentary, it had quite a few views. And then when lockdown happened, it went, it went up. Like, it's like, I checked yesterday, someone was asking me, but like on over 80,000 views, you know, and there's a lot of people that, like I say, you know, I've set up this little YouTube channel, and you know, I'm actually eligible to be monetized now, but you know, I've took a little step back from social media. Like, I don't really enjoy all the fame and everything that comes with it. Like, I will be using YouTube. I'm soon going to create some content as well, but this will just be to inspire the next younger generation. Definitely. There's a lot of youngsters that said to me like, oh, we really enjoy, like, I put like a little training video up and that documentary, like, and they find it very inspirational. So I'll just, for that purpose, I'll try to make some content. But like I say, like, I'm not in it for the fame. Like, I'm not for the fame. I love the game and I want to just support my family as best I can. You know, that's what I'm there for. And the fame comes with it. And some people enjoy it. Some people like the fame and the clout, but that's not me. And I've realised this in the last, you know, few months, you know, with lockdown and everything. You know, I was like, you know, like, why am I doing this? What am I doing? And what do I want?
You mentioned earlier about your goal being right now crystal clear. So where do you see Moha going forward?
I don't know. You know, dream big, they say. You know, I want to go to the Premier League. You know, Championship, Premier League. I know it's people say you're not gonna make it. I don't care what they say. You know,
exactly.
I'm gonna try. You know, I'm in the 6th division now. I know myself. I could be playing in the League 1, League 2 tomorrow. I'm good enough to do it. Waiting for that opportunity, and once that comes, you know, you're not far off.
And you mentioned now, you know, you're starting to make some content online to inspire the next generation. If there's a young kid out there right now, maybe 17, 18, who wants to start getting involved into the divisions and working their way up, like, what advice would you have for them?
Like, the advice that I give, like, the youngsters, yeah, it's very important. Like I said earlier when I was saying, like, I fell out of favour when I came back from international duty 2015. And I decided to go back to the 10th division to play, you know, and that is important. People, they want, like, they want to play as high as possible. Everyone wants to play high. But there is no benefit for you to be sitting on the bench in a high division team. Take a step back and play every single week. That's how you will develop. That's how you will enjoy the game. And that's how people will spot you and give you the chance to play in that 8th division team. Because if you're going to be in the 8th division team, you'll be on the bench, yeah, or you will not be in the squad. And then someone will get injured. And you think that you get the opportunity, but a new player comes in. I've seen this happen. You know, like, there's guys that have been training and you know, and I'm thinking, like, look, this shows that this manager's not giving you the opportunity. It doesn't matter. It's a game of opinions at the end of the day. If this manager don't fancy you, doesn't like you, go somewhere else. Be it a step back, it doesn't matter. Take a step back to take 2 or 3 forward. You know what I mean? And that's very important. Like, play. As long as you play in, yeah, it doesn't matter how low it is. Start in Sunday League, play and enjoy the game. Because there's guys that get picked up from Sunday League as well. You know what I mean? So my best advice is try to get into men's football as early as possible, even at 17. I'm not sure if you're allowed to play 6. Get into men's football. This makes you ready for the big jobs. Like I said, play men's football, because at the time, going back obviously to the start, I was about to sign for FC United reserves, playing in the under 23s, under 21, something like that. And then I just, like, my brother came and he said to me, like, come, let's sign for my team. And that was the best decision I've made. Because I started to play men's football from the age of 18. Does that make sense? Had I had signed for FC United, I don't know what would have happened. I would not be used to this physical game. Does that make sense? So that's my advice. Very important. Play senior football instead of playing under 23s. You know, play senior football, get the experience. And football is, you have ups and downs. You know, you fall out of favour tomorrow, not a problem. Be positive, have faith in yourself, believe in yourself, support yourself, you know, be yourself biggest supporter, you know, and if you fall out of favour tomorrow, keep that courage and that belief that you'll one day make it, you know, and if one door closes, another door might open, another door will open.
What advice do you have for parents?
Well, this is, very, very, very good question.
Because, you know, like, I went through that circle where
we saw the difference the parents make on a football coaches and as a football club.
Yeah, like
what do you think your advice is?
well, like, it's very important. Yeah, I'm not gonna keep it too long, but parents, you know, the role they can play for their child is so important. Why? Just looking back at, you know, the successful Somali footballers, just 2 ones, like, you know, I've listened to an interview of Mohamud Ali. Used to play for Chelsea. Abdeslam Ibrahim, obviously we all know his dad, you know, local. Like, just looking at them two, as an example, you can just see that their dad is involved. The interview I've listened to Mohamud Ali, he said, without my dad I would not be where I am now. His dad was there watching him at cold nights, rain, and that's, you know, I've never experienced that. From a young age, yes, but then after my dad was not really around too much, like, we had a lot of kids, which, you know, I understand, you know what I mean? But if the kids do get the support from their parents, they've got a lot bigger chance to become successful in not just football, in life.
In life, true.
You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about football now, but even in life,
especially football.
It's important because, like, those two is very apparent that their dad has helped them to get to where they are now. You know what I mean? And they've both said it. And then not just that, also, like, I started taking my little one to football. He's 4 years old now, and what you see, and from a young age, when parents go to watch their kids, they're too much involved with the kids. And parents, they don't know what effect it has on the kids, but it's no good. Like, they're more harming the kids. Why is this? Because your kid wants to make you proud. So when you're shouting down the touchline, telling him what to do this skill, run there, or defend, or mark that man, his manager might be telling him something else. And from a young age, the parents, they don't know what effect this has, but I see this happen every week. Even like now, like when I watch my son play, I'm just there and I want him to enjoy, you know. I want him to enjoy, and then when he finishes, he says, "Oh, Daddy, I like it, I love it." And that's why I just want him to fall in love with the game. You know what I mean? That's important, because I don't know for my son. I was actually speaking with someone last week, saying to me, "Oh, I'm going to take my son to City and Liverpool," and he's only like 6, 7 years old. That's like, my son, I don't want him to play for any professional team from a young age, because if he doesn't make it, a lot of them, they become very depressed mentally, and I don't want that for my son. If football happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't
Too much
happen.
pressure too early.
You know what I mean? But if he is good enough, I want to get him maybe into professional academy at the age of around 11, 12, you know, around about that age. But before that, it's all about falling in love with the game, enjoying the game, you know, because what is the point of you playing for City when you're 7 years old, and by the age of 16 you're not playing for City, you're not playing football anymore. You know, and that kid believes all his life he was going to become a professional footballer, because he got the kit on every single week, you know, and a lot of them, not a lot, some of them do make it, because there's a very small percentage of the people that are playing youth teams that become professional footballers. There's you know, there's maybe like 1 or 2% that actually make it, you know. So it's important that you support your kids to become successful in life. It's not just football, because football is a short career, and is a very small percentage to get to that. So, because you can become a professional footballer and not earn a lot of money. Because the elite earners, what they're earning is not easy to get to that money. You know what I mean? So,
man. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming today. Really appreciate it. And if you gained any value from this episode today, if there's anything that you want to add, you know, drop us in the comments. You know, make sure you like this, subscribe, all that good stuff that happens with it as well. If you have an idea of who we should possibly have on this show, let us know. Drop it us in the comment. This is HadalTV. Peace out.